Hello guys, this is Red from Red's Third Dimension Gaming, and today I'm bringing a 1.5 to 2 year review. It's not quite 2 years, not quite 1.5, it's in between there. Review of the YouTube network Freedom, which is owned by George Vanous. It started off as a good network. After over a year of being with them, they ended up being like every other network, and people that join them, they just see you as a number. So first off, when joining a YouTube network, you will want to do your research and not just join the first network that sends you an email. You will want to read your contract and negotiate for the best deal. And remember this, the network needs you. You do not need them. It is not the other way around. So Freedom Network was made by the creator of TGN, who then partnered that network with BBTV. They came up with some type of deal. So BBTV was a partial owner of TGN, and then they had a fallout. Certain disagreements within the network and BBTV led him to leave TGN and form a new network about half a year later. And this is how Freedom was formed. At the beginning, I loved Freedom Network. George personally helped me get out of my contract with BBTV, which was dreadful. At one time, they were really bad with handling support for their partners. They were the exact same as TGN. They were really horrible, and they didn't help you at all. But the way I got out of my contract was they broke my contract by not allowing me to see my revenue under that analytics tab. You're supposed to be able to see everything. If you can't see that, your partner is breaking your contract because you're supposed to be able to see all that. And I wasn't able to see it, and when I did say something about it, it took like 2 months for them to get back to me, and then they're like, all of a sudden, it was up. Like I was able to see it. But for the first couple years of my YouTube career, I could never see that. But then all of a sudden it's there. Yeah, that just makes it alright. And they wouldn't release me from my contract, and finally BBTV, I talked to someone up higher and was able to get out of that contract. But George helped me with that. They also had a low rev share, which was 70-30 at BBTV. TGN, I had a 60-40 rev share. So what this means is that I got 70% of my YouTube revenue after YouTube took its cut. So YouTube takes like a 55-45, something like that cut, and then after that, your network takes a cut. So they would take 30%, which is kind of low compared to what I had at Freedom. If you go into Freedom Network, or any other network for that matter, thinking that you're only going to get a 60% rev share, then you need to do your homework. Just please negotiate with a recruiter from the network before joining, unless you're brand new to YouTube. I ended up getting a 95% rev share contract straight from George himself. I don't remember ever reading a contract, and I just remember automatically signing into Freedom. I don't really understand the contract part of Freedom because I don't remember ever reading one. I started off, I think, at 60, but they automatically bumped me up to 95% rev share. That's what ended up happening. And I don't want to forget this, but I didn't write it down. And before we get into some heavy stuff with Freedom, they don't send a report out every month like TGN, BBTV also did this. Machinima does this. They'll send out a report of all your videos and how much you made for each video, how many views each video got, how many monetized views each video got. TGN did this, BBTV did this, Machinima does this. Freedom does not do this. I never got a report that said how many views each video got, how many monetized views. So they could be totally lying on some of their numbers. I'm trusting that they didn't, but they could. Who knows? Because they don't send you out a report every month. Machinima does this. Like I said, they do it. TGN and BBTV all do this. If they're a good network, a big network, they should be doing this. Freedom should be doing this, but they have never done that with me. So yeah, that's one thing that I didn't have written down that I wanted to bring up before I go into all the heavy stuff. Having barely any requirements is one of the good and bad things about Freedom Network. They will pretty much accept anyone. As long as you don't have copyright strikes, you can get in. You can have copyright on your channel, just no copyright strikes, you can get in. They say on their main page that there's a view requirement of 33 views a day. I know people that have gotten in and they have had like 5 views on like each video, and they don't get much more than that. And I've seen people that had literally no videos on their channel be partnered by Freedom. So you don't need even that. Basically just no copyright. So this is good for new channels that don't want as much copyright claims and different things, and they want to monetize all their gaming videos. For gamers, this is really good for starting out because you're still able to make something. So I didn't make like anything at all because I wasn't partnered my first year on YouTube, and then I got partnered up by TGN, and I still didn't make a whole lot. So making anything is just an extra benefit. You don't make a lot of money starting off on YouTube, so don't expect all I got is a couple cents. Yeah, you know what, if you're not getting a lot of views and a little bit of them are monetized, you're not gonna get a lot of money from YouTube. So just starting off, it's not that bad of a company. I know some people, they'll complain about the 60-40 rev share, but you agreed on that, and you don't have to take it. You can always get out of their contract. Just read your contract if you don't like it. But like I said, I didn't get a contract with them. But yeah, if you don't like 60-40, then go somewhere else. And if you're not able to go somewhere else, you can't complain too much because, yeah, you're just starting out on YouTube. The problems with accepting everyone who joins your network is that you'll have channel management issues. Does Freedom have one-on-one support? Nope. When sending a ticket in to their support, it would take about 1 to 2 weeks just to get back to me, sometimes longer. And once they finally did get back to me for copyright issues, I'd get the same experience that I had with BBTV and TGN. They always said that I am always in the wrong. So say you get a false copyright claim and it's for music. I've had a lot of these where there'll be YouTubers out there that just automatically put a claim on this, put a claim on this, and they don't own that music. Especially when it's something that Sony owns, and they don't mind it because it's in their game, and you're advertising their game basically out there. You're putting their game out there. It has some Sony music in it, but then someone randomly claims it. They basically said, you're in the wrong, so I'm in the wrong, but they don't own that. So yeah, I would get stuff like this all the time, and I would have to fix it on my own. They don't help you out on copyright claims pretty much at all. The only reason that I had certain copyright claims and strikes removed was getting them off by myself. Freedom Network does not help at all with the strikes or claims. If you get a strike, you're pretty much just going to have to wait it out or fix it on your own. They will act like it is not their problem when it is. When you get a strike, you think you would want to get that off of your network, but they don't care. Also, when I received one strike for a Japanese song and an opening cutscene of a walkthrough video that I created, and it was like a year or two before I actually got the copyright strike, I randomly got another 300 to 500 copyright claims within the next 2 days. It was crazy. And you think Freedom Network would help with this? Nope. They didn't help at all. So I had to do all of this work of getting off over 300 claims from Final Fantasy. Square Enix gave me about 200 to 300 of those claims. Saints Row 4 was music claims that I already got off before, but then Deep Silver didn't help me out with that. Deep Silver actually did a thing when YouTube first started doing the automated system like of music and everything, where they took off all the Saints Row stuff. But then after this copyright strike, I got a bunch more for the same exact ones I got off a long time ago, and it was very annoying because Deep Silver wouldn't help out at all with that. But we're talking about Freedom. Freedom doesn't help at all, and it took over a year just to get this off. And yeah, the majority was all me. I'm the one that handled all this. They didn't help at all. Networks with this bad of support are terrible. They need to train their staff better, and if they don't train their staff, then they're really horrible. There are many times where I think I had someone that was under the age of 16 helping me. They just looked really young on their picture, and I've known some people when I try to leave Freedom try to recruit me for their network, and the one guy was like 15 or 16 years old. And he was running one of Freedom's sub-networks and channels. So how does that make sense? A 16-year-old high school student that's doing high school and part-time YouTube and having a sub-network is working for you That doesn't make sense to me. That's literally like child labor. You should have adults on your customer service. You shouldn't have adolescents. If you're under 17, I don't consider you an adult. You shouldn't be doing customer support or partner support at all. You're not qualified enough, in my opinion. And this is who they had running their support team. And actually running some of their networks, their other networks they had, which thank God Subnetworks are gone. I actually like that Subnetworks are gone. Why would you want to go to Subnetwork when you can just go to the main network? It's pointless to go to a Subnetwork that's not going to be nearly as qualified. So staffing issues is another problem that I saw with Freedom Network. Everyone that I personally knew through Skype, these are the only ones that actually helped me. I had one-on-one support, but not everyone has that. I had that until they either got fired or they left Freedom. And the only ones that are still there, George, he never talked to me after like the first 6 months that I was with Freedom. He stopped talking to me. And then Anthony is still there too. He's one of the big ones, and now I don't know, those two are kind of running Freedom. I won't go into major details about that kind of stuff, but I have heard it isn't necessarily the best place to work at. And there are videos out there on YouTube about what happens around Freedom, and you can go check them out. I might put them in the description below. Another weird thing is that someone like me who has a 4-year bachelor's degree that's having a hard time finding a job and experience with talking with PR agents cannot work for Freedom. I tried to work for them several times, and I think I was definitely more qualified than the people that they had working there. But a high school student, this is the issue I was bringing up about the high school students working for Freedom. But a high school student with no experience can be in charge of one of your channels, Subnetworks. It doesn't make sense to me. Something has to be wrong with that. Maybe they did it on all for free. I have no idea how that works with Freedom and with their workers. But that's pretty bad. So the next topic I want to talk about with Freedom is failed projects. They used to have a bunch of smaller channels for movie reviews called Remag, dedicated gaming channels like MGM and Gamers, and they also had a show called Impulse. The Impulse show got cut along with many other shows that were actually interesting and unique. This actually made Freedom something like a normal network has. Look at Machinima. I do like a lot of the stuff that's on Machinima. They have people that talk about movie news, gaming news. They even have like a WWE one. They have different things, and they even have animations. Also sometimes put some gaming videos on their main channel. Freedom doesn't do any of this. They only put George on their front page, and he's the only one that shows up. And it's kind of weird, in my opinion. You should showcase the channels that actually earn you money. You shouldn't only put yourself out there. Kind of sounds a little selfish, in my opinion, if you're thinking about it. They should put other than just George. Maybe this is why they don't get the big sponsorships like they could be getting. Whew, I went off of the script there. Also, the Mike guy that used to be with Freedom, he left too. He was with them since the beginning with Impulse, and him and his girlfriend have their own channel, and I think they also have a network now. So that's cool. That's good for them. Remag, which is a movies review channel, has not posted a video in 3 months, and they're slowly dying. Their reviews are abysmal at this point. They get barely anything, and like I said, 3 months ago was the last time they posted something. They also used to have a magazine, online magazine, which I actually applied for, and I could have easily done reviews for them if they would be paying me for a job to be like a journalist and post reviews and different articles and things on there. I would have totally done that. I could have helped you get a team together for that. But apparently they scrapped the whole thing. They had an online magazine. They scrapped it. And MGN is another one that is a dying channel. It is a shell of its former self. And the channel Gamers was another one that is now dead. I think that's the one that I was talking about. The guy that was in charge of it was trying to recruit me to his network, which he had one person, and it's like, what can you offer me? And there was like nothing. It's like, why would I join you? And then when he said he was in high school, I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. You gotta be crazy. I want to join a big network or someone that is actually dedicating the time to that network. But yeah, 10 months and no new videos is what's going on with Gamers, that channel. I can't remember which one, but they used to have people submit videos all the time to it out of MGN or Gamers, one of the two. I think it was Gamers, where they used to post like trolling videos and different things and montages. Well, I had a montage with a song that I got from Position Music. They said it wasn't friendly enough because it had like singing in it, something about suicide, but it wasn't like saying go out and kill yourself. It wasn't like that. It was actually an encouraging type of way they were saying everything. Like it's talking about being bullied and then you should stand up for yourself, and basically something like that. That's what the song really was about. But they didn't think it was appropriate enough, and they turned it into like a kids channel. I was just like, what the fuck? You had a great thing going. Why did you change the whole thing? And they changed and re-imaged the whole channel, and it was horrible. And that's probably why it only lasted 10 months ago was the last time they posted a new video. So one of the more interesting failed projects was something called Freedom Points. This was the first major thing they had on their channel. Literally, you earned freedom points for meeting milestones like doubling your views or subscribers, and I had a bunch saved up, and after my first year I was going to use them because I had a big month in December. I wanted to use the points up. What these points did was allow you to make up to 110% rev share. So say you had 60% and you had enough points to get it up to 110. That's really cool. So you'd make up to 110 rev share for any given month if you had enough freedom points. So when I tried this, it didn't work, and I contacted support. It took a while for them to get back to me. Every time it seemed like it took about a week just for the conversation to continue. So what they ended up saying was that it was in beta and that it's not available now and that I won't be able to earn any extra. When I actually submitted for this freedom points and for the 110% rev share, it didn't say that. It didn't say beta. It didn't say it was not available because it's only in beta, which now it's gone forever. But when I contacted support that week after, they ended up putting it on there and saying this is now in beta or something, and it said that something else in the parentheses. So that's great support there. So when you ask for help for something, they end up just changing what's going on and it's gone. So they just end up changing their policies all of a sudden. That's nice. So next topic, have more than triple the view and subscriber requirements for a sponsorship? Well, look no further because you will never hear back from anyone. Game On Snacks is one of the current sponsorships that Freedom Network promotes. I've tried several sponsorships with them and they are all terrible. I think the only one that got back to me was Gambia's, and they sent me a really cheap headset. They sent me a cheap keyboard, but they did actually give away a really nice keyboard to one of my subscribers, and I will post that sometime this week. That was a year ago. That was the one thing that was nice about them. They did actually promote that, and they sent it out to him, and they were really appreciative because he worked at some place where they actually helped out kids and stuff. So it was nice what happened with that one. I liked that sponsorship, like where they gave the giveaway, but all the other sponsorships were total bust, and I actually qualified for a higher one at Gambia's, but they apparently didn't think so. If you're into Minecraft, there's a hosting one that you probably can get, but majority of the sponsorships are downright dismal. They actually had a Ironside PC one, I forget, but Ironside PC ended up backing out of the whole thing, and they didn't know what they were getting themselves into. So basically Ironside PC wanted you to have so many views on each video per day. So every video has to have like 10,000 views or something, which is crazy because some of my videos do really well, like 100,000 views, and I get over 700 to 800,000 views a month, but I don't qualify for that because it's not on every single video, which is ridiculous. So that was one of the sponsorships that actually ended up backing out of the whole thing, and I don't think anyone got an Ironside PC. If you did, you'd be making a lot of views per day on each video. But on the Freedom dashboard, they make it easy to apply for each of these, but they'll either say you don't have enough views per day, which I do, or that they won't get back to you at all, which is usually what happens. So people that are new, that have never been in Freedom Network, that are reviewing all the networks at once and saying, oh, Freedom Network gives you sponsorships and this and that, they'll never get back to you. So don't even worry about it. And if you're really small, they're never getting back to you, because I think that I'm pretty decent size and I overly qualify for a lot of these. Right now, there's one that's like 10,000 subscribers. I'm at almost 40,000 and I don't apparently qualify for that. And it's just going by subscribers. So yeah. Video game reviews is another thing that could have benefited Freedom Network a lot. Not a lot of networks give out review copies and this and that, so that could have been something that stood out. I actually suggested this to one of the former employees. I won't say his name, but I had good connections with him until I think he got fired or he just left. He's actually started his own network too, and he kept trying to make this happen. And there were a few games in there since almost a year ago, the same games. They were changing the ones that were available every once in a while. It took a while, but they did. But since he left, there hasn't been any new games put in there. And it's the same games, and I think they pretty much done away with it. You think if you'd want to grow and have more views on your main channel, which apparently they don't care about, they just care about numbers. We have 100,000 people with us. That's pretty much all they care about. They don't care about quality, they care about quantity, which you'll hear me saying that a lot later. One thing they have that is nice is being actually able to use music in your montages or as background filler. Freedom Network offers position music, which is the only thing that I actually used from them. I didn't use most of their resources at all, but that's one of the good things that they have. Epidemic Sound and Audio Micro are also available, but they're also available from many other networks. The difference between those and position music has some well-known groups in there that you might have heard on YouTube and different places. One thing I would like to complain about is that Freedom didn't have every band on there. Like, I've actually heard of Red. They didn't let you have every single musician on there. So it was limited, but it was better than nothing. And that's something I saw as a positive over other networks. Not all networks have position music. Another thing that Freedom Network did to my channel is it moved it from the main Freedom Network to another Freedom, like Freedom 3 or something, without notifying me, and I could no longer see what I had earned. This raised a red flag for me, and I contacted support. It took them forever to get back to me, and when they finally did, they said, this happens when you are new to a network. After this, I have already been with them for over a year, and I was done with them. I was irritated, and you saw the video I made, and yeah, that was ridiculous. Okay, so before I go into the next topic, which is about unlinking, I want to talk about Paragon Network, which was a subnetwork, but YouTube got rid of subnetworks on YouTube, so I guess they're their own network now, but this is absolute bullshit what they did to me. So I was trying to transfer over to Paragon because they're supposed to be like the premier Freedom Network. They're supposed to be the top dogs, elite. And I've seen some channels that are very small with them that only have like 1,000 subs or even smaller than that go to Paragon. And they said that my content is uncreative and that majority of my videos are cutscene videos. If you looked at my channel, I should just make another video about Paragon Network now accepting me, because that was ridiculous. Okay, and I don't know where they got that all my videos are cutscene videos, because I haven't made one of those in such a long time. I only started making them more recently because Machinima was fine with it. My most popular videos, there's a couple of cutscene videos, but if you look overall, they're not all cutscene videos. I have a few gameplay videos, I have reviews in there. In my top like 100 videos, I have reviews in there that I've gotten over 150,000 views. I got boss fight videos, tutorials, many reviews, and gameplay videos, and even comparisons. How is that all cutscene videos? They're not. And they said like majority of my 7,000, almost 500 videos are cutscene videos. And I was like, that's absolute bullshit. Well, here's the other thing they said next. They said, we believe your channel art needs improvement too, including thumbnails, banner, and intro. I think my intro is fine, first off. I actually updated that because of their comments. My banner was fine. A lot of people said good things about my old banner. My new banner, I think, even looks better because I spent a long time on that. And it was about 1.5 years since the last time I did one. So that's why I updated it. And my intro, like I said, is fine. My thumbnails look fine. You put a big number on it. You put the game's name on it. You have a cool picture that's from the actual game itself and gameplay, not just a random picture. And you can put random pictures on if they're relatable and not absolute bullshit clickbait, because I don't like that. I actually try to get this from the same gameplay that I had in that current video. But they said, you recently made a video about Freedom, the company we work for, monetization, which contains inaccurate information that you did not try to investigate before releasing the video. First off, freedom of speech. Second off, it was not inaccurate. I had no idea what was going on. The network never said anything about this change, and it took them like 3 weeks or so just to tell me that, oh, they might have moved you to a different network. It said from Freedom to Freedom, and I couldn't see my money, how much I was making that month. So I thought, what the heck? Am I going to be making half that month's amount, or be making the whole amount, and you're going to tell me how much I'm making for that month? They didn't tell me anything. So that kind of scared me, and I had no idea what I was going to do. That's the problem I had with that. And then Paragon said that I didn't qualify. Well, you know what? I've seen some of the channels that you partnered, and you think that I'm not creative. I've made plenty of videos of reviews. That's not creative. Reviews aren't creative. Comparison videos, they're not creative at all. You're not doing anything to the videos at all. I do live streams. They're not creative. You're not talking over them or anything. You don't talk to your audience and get them involved. Nope. That's not creative. What else isn't creative? Walkthrough videos, I guess you could say they're not creative. But everything else, man, I produce a lot of different types of videos, and they're saying that everything I do is uncreative. That pisses me off. And yeah, don't go to Paragon. They're ridiculous, and I think they were just a little butthurt by what I said about freedom in that video, and it was all true. It wasn't false information. So unlinking from Freedom is a pain too. They said it would take 30 days after you unlink your channel with that little button, but it took me 31 days and a lot of complaining just to get unlinked. And they wanted me to stay there. They're like, oh, you sure you don't want to stay? And I was like, yes, I don't want to stay. I already had a contract signed over to another partner that was supposed to start on that day. And I was just like, ugh. So I was set to join Machinima on the day I was supposed to be released from Freedom Network. Well, Freedom had decided not to release me, so I had to wait until after the weekend to get partnered and monetized by Machinima. Machinima is pretty much closed on weekends for support, so I know it is just one day, but it actually lost me a pretty decent amount of money that I could have been earning on my channel, because it took a couple days just to get partnered and everything, so it was a little more than just one day of unmonetization from Freedom to Machinima, and that's all because Freedom decided to not release me on the day that I was supposed to be released. The final topic that I want to discuss is ads and CPM. Freedom Network was much better than TGN and BBTV, but the ad system kind of sucks. I never had a 30-minute ad before while with Machinima. Machinima, they're great. They have relatable ads and actually have higher revenue overall, like that way with Machinima. Over with Freedom, I think I know why my revenue was so low. There were many times when my ads were irrelevant or extremely long. If I have a gaming video, it should be something about gaming or even movies, or something that that person's gonna enjoy, not a 30-minute. I literally had 30 minutes to an hour ads before on my videos, and I was just like, what the fuck? No wonder I'm not making as much as what I could be. Who wants to sit and watch that long of a video, especially if it's irrelevant? Also, when I wanted to leave Freedom, my CPM and total money per day, it dropped by like half, and then it went down even lower. I had a really low point for that month, and it dropped lower than any previous month I was with Freedom. And you heard that right. Let's just say it was less than half of what I made in January, which is the lowest CPM times for YouTube, and I made less than half of what I made in January. That's pretty bad when your CPMs and everything drops that low. I actually had more monetized and total views than a year ago in the same month that I was leaving Freedom. So a year ago, the same month, a year ago, I made more money, but with less views and less monetized views than I did this past year with Freedom, the same month, but this year, the same month I wanted to leave Freedom. So how does more views and monetized views equal less money? How does that equal out? It doesn't. And I don't know if they were salty against me from the video I made and after that I wanted to leave, or what. Like, how does that benefit you at all? That just makes me want to leave your network even more. And when I get asked to come back, which is really an insult, for 60-40 rev share, you really want me to come back for that much? I even told them this and they said they would go up to 80. And then I said I had a 95% when I was with you. She's like, oh, I can't go that high. And I was just like, I'm not negotiating. I don't want to go back to your network. I'm not negotiating here. So overall, this was my experience with Freedom Network. If you're a new channel that needs a partner and doesn't want to be locked in, then go with them. If you have over 1,000 subscribers and want to actually have support, then go to Machinima. Or you could go to Curse, which I've heard Curse's, that sounded really funny. Curse's support is not really the best either, but I don't have personal experience with them. I just know that they give you a 90% rev share, which is really nice. It's just, if you want to qualify for them, I'd go for it. If you don't qualify, then go with Freedom until you can qualify for Curse, and then just drop out of your contract with Freedom, because they have a no lock-in contract. And just remember this, Freedom Network is all about the quantity, not the quality. You're just a number to them, and they didn't used to always be like this, but they are now. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget the thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe. I've told you all I can think of at the moment about Freedom, and I hope it helps you in your decision to either join them or leave them or never want to join them at all. See ya.